All right, Briahna, who were you cheering for at the Super Bowl?
Well, I'm an Eagles fan. Obviously, they beat us in the Super Bowl last year. But because of the relationship between the Kelsey brothers, also because the Kelseys are from Cleveland, where my family is from, I was rooting for the Chiefs and, like, Kelsey's by proxy through Travis. Not because of the Taylor Swift rigmarole.
Joe Biden got to you too, huh?
That didn't hurt. Yeah. No, it's a love story. As Taylor Swift says, it's a love story. Everybody loves that.
Well, while Kansas City brought home their third Super Bowl trophy, President Biden took the win as an opportunity to jokingly lean into rumors that I just referred to, that the administration was behind this win. Biden took to X last night to acknowledge the Chiefs' win, posting a photo of his laser-eyed alter ego, Dark Brandon, with the caption, "Just like we drew it up." That was pretty funny.
Well, social media users reacted in various ways, not always with humor to that, some referring to it as him homelandering himself, since the Super Bowl also happened to coincide with the siege of Rafah in Gaza, where a civilian population had accumulated. Viewers were also upset about Andra Day's performance of Lift Every Voice and Sing, also known as the Black National Anthem. Congressman Matt Gaetz wrote on X, "They're desecrating America's national anthem by playing something called the Black National Anthem." Congressman Mike Loychik, a Republican lawmaker in the Ohio House of Representatives, said, "There's no such thing as a Black national anthem. We are all Americans united by our great and beautiful Star-Spangled Banner. The Super Bowl is supposed to bring us together. It's a disgrace that the NFL decided to push the politics of racial division again."
Prior to the game, former President Trump took to Twitter and accused pop star Taylor Swift of being disloyal should she endorse Joe Biden for president. Trump said, "I signed and was responsible for the Music Modernization Act for Taylor Swift and all other musical artists. Joe Biden didn't do anything for Taylor and never will. There's no way she could endorse crooked Joe Biden, the worst and most corrupt president in the history of our country, and be disloyal to the man who made her so much money."
Ooh, incredible stuff here. So for one, just as background, Lift Every Voice and Sting started to be included at the Super Bowl after 2020. I didn't realize that. After the George Floyd was killed on camera, really kind of shocking so many Americans who were appalled by seeing that kind of police overreach. It was included as a way to actually bring the country together and have broader kind of thematic representation at the Super Bowl. The song is actually older than the Star-Spangled Banner. It was, of course, as all many Black American listeners are very well aware, written as a poem by James Weldon Johnson, and was adopted as the Black National Anthem in 1919, more than a decade before the Star-Spangled Banner was named the broader national anthem. And of course, it's not a song about division. It's about a core aspect of American history and those kind of struggles that we overcame as a nation together. It's interesting to me that why it would be characterized as something divisive when it certainly isn't exactly a song called Kill Whitey or whatever is existing in these politicians' imagination.
Yeah, I guess if they had done it instead of the Star-Spangled Banner, I would have seen why people were upset, but they did it. It was a medley, right? They also did
America the Beautiful.
They did America the Beautiful. So if they did a bunch of songs, one of them being the Star-Spangled Banner, I thought Reba did a great job, and one of them being this song, I don't frankly see what the problem is.
Me either, but people are going to be mad, including about the Dark Brandon meme. So I want to get your take on this. It was really interesting to be online last night because the feed really was this surreal mix of clips of Taylor Swift and clips of a football game and Americans being happy and enjoying a pastime, Super Bowl commercials and the like, and clips of an incredible amount of destruction coming out of Gaza in the middle of the night. As we may be aware, civilians have been told to go to the southern part of Gaza near Rafah City, Rafah Gate, for the last 4 months. And now about half the population is, in fact, there, largely set up in a tent city, in a giant refugee city. And there had, as we covered last week, Netanyahu has been telegraphing a ground invasion and bombardment of Rafah. But people have nowhere else to go. This is the safe zone that they've been told to evacuate to. And there was a lot of pushback against this. President Biden, are you going to do anything to stop it? The administration said out loud, well, we don't approve this unless there is an evacuation plan to make sure the humanitarian needs of the people who are there are taken care of. That didn't happen. And so you were seeing really visceral images coming out of Rafah last night, including one of a girl child hanging suspended from a wall with her legs having been blasted off by a bomb. And so when Joe Biden then posted this meme of him with red glowing eyes, it was hard not to, and said, this is all, this is as I planned, just like I drew it up. It was hard not to see that parallel with the horrific images coming out of Gaza and saying, oh yes, this is as you planned, for us all to be distracted by the Super Bowl while our ally, who we are funding, Benjamin Netanyahu, engages in what might be characterized as even more war crimes in Gaza.
I did not see any of that sort of discourse. I mean, the him with red eyes thing comes from, well, that started as a Chinese thing, right? Do you remember that? They depicted him when China was mad at him. Some, I believe, Chinese government account years ago made a meme of him like sitting on, I think, the Game of Thrones Iron Throne with the red eyes, and it was supposed to be that he's some evil figure, and then it was kind of appropriated by pro-Biden people to like make him seem cooler.
I get it. And he's adopted the dark Brandon meme, and people think that that's, it gives him vitality and edginess, especially after a really bad media week where he's being characterized as having those exact opposite traits. But the problem is that the timing was really, really bad. So clearly this was posted late at night. None of these posts are coming out of the brain of any principal, much less Joe Biden. These are social media managers who are making these choices. But it did really seem to miss the mood of the moment, where so much of the rhetoric on Twitter, I mean, this is a post that's designed to reach a Twitter audience. It is a tweet, right? And so much of the discourse on Twitter at the time, the trending topics were Super Bowl and massacre in Rafah. There was some tag that was trending, like the genocide bowl, something like that, was literally trending at the time. And so in that context, to be the President of the United States of America and to tweet that out, especially since another part of this dynamic is that there has been a history of using high-profile American events to break ceasefire. So back in 2008, Israel broke a ceasefire during the election of Barack Obama when the world's attention was turned. The last ceasefire ended over the holidays. It was during Thanksgiving break or Christmas break, and the timing of that seemed to be either by design or just in effect to obscure attention on what was going on in Gaza. And now having the Super Bowl timed with this invasion of this densely packed civilian population, it did seem, frankly, it raised questions, I should say, as to whether or not this was planned. And so again, Joe Biden tweeting out just as we planned it, it had this odd double valence. And I don't know if you're, I know you watch The Boys and you're familiar with Homelander as a character, but there's this character that is ostensibly the superhero. He is the Captain America.
Well, he's very much the villain of the show.
Right, but that's the whole point, that outwardly he is supposed to be this embodiment of the American dream and a superhero, but he's a villain with laser eyes that doesn't use them to do good like Superman does, but uses them to commit great evil. So the parallels there, I think, were difficult for a lot of people to ignore online.
Okay.
By the way, did you see the Hillary Clinton tweet as well?
Yes, she. I don't know. She did the thing where she just referred to him as Taylor Swift's boyfriend.
Yes.
Is that right?
So congratulations to Taylor Swift's boyfriend.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to earn her a lot of plaudits for doing that. Oh, yeah, we have it up on screen. I guess it's a kind of rah-rah feminism that is very much her brand. That I think that's a tweet that could turn people off. But if she was running for president right now, I would say, oof, that's gonna.
But Donald Trump is running for president, and he did that.
He said he likes the guy, but he's very. His statement was very much like, I want to like you guys, but I know you're gonna come out against me. Don't do it, and we can be friends. Can we please be friends?
It's actually similar to the kind of explicit pay to play that we talked about in an earlier segment about NATO. We're not going to protect you, NATO, unless you pay us our dues. Taylor Swift, I earned you so much money through my, copyright or whatever.
Well, I think he was trying to say that my policies were more favorable to you, and you should recognize that.
How could you be disloyal to the man who made her so much money? I mean, I think there's some questions as to whether or not people have broader interests than their own personal financial interests, and I think a lot of people who are left-leaning feel that way, that the role of the president is to not just look after yourself when you're voting at the booth, but to make sure that they're taking care of your broader American community, whether it's people who are of a different gender or a different race.
He really does not want Taylor Swift to endorse Joe Biden. he really doesn't want her to.
All right. Well,
I don't know. Maybe it's working.
We'll see if this kind of a tacit threat, I made you so much money, is what puts Taylor Swift over the line one way or the other.
That does it for us for today. Tomorrow on Rising, more of the best damn show that's ours will be available on YouTube. Oh, real quick before we go, I loved the Paramount Plus commercial.
That's the Patrick Stewart one?
Yeah, Patrick Stewart. Hey Arnold.
Yes.
Creed.
Yes.
That's what we really want. We all remember that Creed halftime show. It wasn't the Super Bowl. It was some other, I think it was a Thanksgiving Day show from like 20 years ago. It's available on YouTube. Creed goes so hard. And to really satisfy this millennial, even though Usher did a fantastic job, I want Creed at the Super Bowl next year.
That's funny. I don't think I've been as hyped for a Super Bowl as the one where Usher, played last night. I saw a lot of people saying, we're now elder millennials, the group that everyone's appealing to.
Yes.
And boy, oh boy, does it feel good, because I was up and dancing and reminiscing about freshman year, along with all of my other crinky jointed elder millennials. So it was a great show.
That's what kicked off the middle school dances for us.
Middle school. Oh, God, that was my freshman year.
Middle school for me, high school for you.
All right. Okay. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss any content. And for those of you who like to listen while you're on the go, we're now available wherever you listen to podcasts.
See you later.
Take care.